Hello everyone, I'm Amit Bhuptani, Assistant Professor in Mechanical Engineering Department at Dr. Subhash Technical Campus, Junagadh. I welcome you all on today's presentation related with the subject Industrial Engineering. In our today's presentation, we will study about the topic that is wages and types of wage payments. So before we begin our today's presentation, let us have an overview of today's presentation. The first topic that we will discuss, that is introduction to wage. Second topic that we will discuss, that is types of wages. Third topic that we will discuss, that is characteristics of a good wage system. And fourth topic, that is types of wage payments. So let us begin with our first point of discussion, that is introduction to wage. So what is wage? It is in return given to the workers for their mental and physical efforts which they put on in the production process. So one can say that wage is nothing but what are the efforts, mental and physical efforts that the workers are putting while doing the production of any items or any job. So for that they are getting the return in terms of money, in terms of payment. So for that physical and mental effort towards his work, for doing the production of job, the return that he is getting, that is known as wage or can be defined as wage. A wage determines the standard of living and it should be a fair return. So it also determines the standard of living and it should be fair enough for the efforts that the workers are putting for doing the production. So it should be fair enough for the efforts that they are putting on, and it should satisfy those primary and secondary needs of the workers. Primary needs may be food, shelter, and secondary needs may be education and that all things. So those primary and secondary needs also should be satisfied, and there should be enough to provide him a reasonable standard of living. Standard of living should also be satisfied for the workers. So it should be fair enough and it should satisfy some primary and secondary requirements that the workers are required to have. It should be also reasonable for the standard of living, whether shelter, food, clothes. So those all are primary and secondary needs which must be satisfied. So the wages should be such that, or the returns that they are getting for the efforts, for the physical efforts that they are putting on for doing the production, that should be such that it should satisfy those needs of the workers. This is all about introduction to wage. Now our second topic of discussion, that is types of wage. The first wage that we will discuss, that is nominal wage. It is an amount of money that is paid to the worker. So what are the efforts that the workers are putting on towards the production or towards doing the production of job? That is the money that is paid for their efforts, and no other benefits are given to the workers. This is also called money wage. And the rate of wages may vary from place to place depending upon the demand and supply of labor and the necessities of life. So one can define nominal wage as the amount of money that is paid to the workers towards his efforts or towards the production. There are no other benefits this nominal wages provide, and this nominal wages depends on the supply or the amount of labor that is available. If the labors are available in large quantity, then accordingly the wages will be less. But if there is a less amount of labors that are available, then at that place the wages will be higher. So the rates of wages vary from one place to another depending upon the demand and the supply of labor. If the production rate you want to be higher, then it is but obvious that you will have to hire more number of laborers. So at that time you will also require to pay the more wages to the laborers. So it depends on the supply and demand of laborers, how much laborers are available at that particular place where they want to do the production. If there are less number of laborers available, then they can easily have higher wages also. They will have to pay higher wages because there is an deficiency in labor supply. So this is all about nominal wages. Second one, real wages. It represents the amount of necessaries, comfort, luxuries and cash payment a worker gets in return to its efforts. So what are the efforts? As we discussed, wage is nothing but the efforts that the workers are putting on for doing the production of job. For that, the return that they are getting, that is defined as wage. Now real wage considers some comforts also, luxuries also. So it depends again on the organization. Some organization provides facilities, essential facilities like housing facilities, means there must be accommodation facilities, that is called housing facilities or accommodation facilities, with free electricity, water charges. They are providing all those benefits, paying the electric bills of their house, water charges. They are providing uniforms, and these all are the things that is paid in additional way to the money in cash. They are also providing the money in cash, but they are also providing such facilities like housing facilities, electricity bills or free electricities, water charges. They are also providing uniforms of their particular organization in addition to the money in cash. So if all these amounts are considered for wages, it becomes real wage. So it is totally dependent on the organization. Now our next wage that we will discuss, that is living wage. It is the wages are such that they are not going to fulfill some requirements of a family, like when the wage rates are such that they are not going to fulfill some requirements of families like food, clothes, education and insurance, then they are referred to as living wages. So such wages may be less. It is not even able to fulfill those requirements of family, basic needs such as foods, clothes, education, insurance, along with some basic necessities, other basic, they are referred to as living wages. So that is not that much adequate for the worker to satisfy all those above mentioned needs. Basic needs are not satisfied. That can be referred to as living wage. Fourth, that is minimum wage. It is defined, or it may be defined as the wage which not only provides for basic subsistence but something more than this. It is satisfying all those basic things, or the basic needs are satisfied by the wages that they are getting, but it is something more than that. It should be able to keep the employees motivated, and it should provide for something more than the basic needs. Already the basic needs are satisfied, but they are providing something more, such as education facilities, medical facilities, which is very essential requirement for their children, for their family. So such wages, it should also consider the cost of living. So that is called minimum wage, which also considers to satisfy more than minimum or more than basic requirements. It are the wages which considers the educational requirements, medical facilities, which are very essential. So that is about minimum wage. Our next topic of discussion, characteristics of a good wage system. So the first characteristics, how should the wage system be? It should guarantee a minimum wage to the employee. It should guarantee a minimum wage to the employee. It should be able to keep the workers motivated. Yes, it is but obvious that the working environment should be such that the workers are motivated to do the work that they are assigned, and even more than that. It should provide a scope for employees to get reward for their additional or extra effort, that is called incentives. Yes, there are provision of incentives also in some organizations that the workers or the employees get for their extra effort, for something more, for in terms of quality, they are maintaining better quality, they are maintaining all the standards that they have been set, then such organization will pay incentives to the workers, or that is called a reward for his or hers good work, dedicated work. Incentives can be in form of cash also, it can be in form of some coupons, it can be in form of some holiday packages. There are many incentive facilities those organizations are providing. So that will ultimately help the worker to get more motivated. It is a reward for its extra efforts or some additional work. Then it should be consistent and should not be altered frequently. It should be consistent, it should be followed for certain period of time, and it should not be altered, it should not be changed frequently. The system should be simple and understood by all those who are concerned. It should be simple and it should be easy to understand. The people, those who are working over there, it should be, or the workers who are working over there, it should be easily understandable to them. So that is also a characteristics of a good wage system. It should be such. Proper encouragement should be given to utilize the full potential of employees. There should be a motivation, or there should be a good positive environment at which they are working. They should be encouraged timely so that they will motivate their employees or the workers to utilize their all strength, all their potentials that they are having, and that will ultimately help them for a good production rate. This is all about characteristics of a good wage system. Our next topic of discussion, that is types of wage payments. There are two basic methods of wage payments. The first that we will discuss, that is time wage system. So as the name itself suggests, based on time. In this system, the workers are paid wages according to the time they spend at the workplace. So what is the time that they are spending at the workplace? Based on the amount of time that they are working, based on that the wages are paid. For example, it can be on the basis of a daily basis, the wage is paid, weekly basis or monthly basis. In this system, the work or production done by employee is not taken into the consideration. So here it is not required that the worker must do the production, or it is not considering the amount of production that he has done. So it is clearly mentioned in this system, the work or production done by the employee is not taken into the consideration. Here totally the wages are paid based on the time that the worker spends at the workplace. Suppose he is working for 8 hours, so based on that hourly basis, based on the timely basis, he is getting the wage. So here, irrespective of the production, the payment is done. It doesn't consider what is the amount of production that the worker has done. It just considers the time that he has spent at the workplace, and based on that the wages are paid. So that is time wage system. This is the oldest type of wage system. Okay, so now we will see the merits of this time based wage system. The first advantage, or you can say merits, is it is clear and simple, provides guaranteed minimum wages. It provides guaranteed minimum wages because it considers only the amount of time that the worker has spent at the workplace. Then quality is maintained, haste is avoided, and hence improper and excessive use of machinery is avoided. Haste is avoided means there is no any hurry for doing the work, hence improper and excessive use of machinery is avoided. So haste is avoided, and hence improper and excessive use of machinery is avoided. Next is suitable for industries where measuring output is impossible. Suitable for industries where measuring output is impossible. So there is large number of production rate, or there is large production that is going on, and it is not possible to calculate. Then at that time this system is suitable. Haste is avoided, and hence improper and excessive use of machinery is avoided. So haste means speed in doing something. There is no hurry of doing something that speedily. So Improper and excessive use of machinery is avoided, because during the hurry you can have the chances of failures or some errors. So that is not considered in this method. Wages payable are predetermined. Yes, it is predetermined based on the time. For example, for 5 hours it is 70 rupees or 100 rupees, for example. Then workers are not exploited, which help to maintain harmonious relationship. So here it is helping to develop a good relationship. Workers are motivated to work efficiently. So this is all about the merits of this system. Then let us see the demerits or disadvantages of time. It fails to motivate efficient and industrious workers. Yes, because it is in this system of wage payment, it is already decided, it is predetermined that the wages will be this much. So the efficient worker or the industrial worker who is very much capable of doing, but the wages are always already predefined, so it will demotivate the worker who is very much active. Second demerit, work needs supervision, thus cost of supervision increases. It requires supervision, so the cost of supervision will be more. Possibility of worker being negligent towards work or production. Yes, as it is already mentioned, or as we had studied in the previous slides, because worker just here will get the wage based on the time that he has spent towards the workplace. So there may be chances that he will neglect or try to divert his work, or he will be unproductive, because here the wages is not paid on the production that he is doing. So possibility is there that the workers will be negligent towards the work or production. Conflicts and jealous between efficient and inefficient workers crops up, because efficient workers will not get more as compared to inefficient workers, so there may be the jealousy that will arise between them. Then nurtures the evil of shirking the work. Nurtures the evil of shirking the job. So that means he is avoiding the work that he is supposed to do. So there may be chance he will try to avoid the work that is been given. Cannot be considered a progressive wage system. Yes, so it is not a progressive wage system. That is all about the time wage system. Now second type of wage system is piece wage system. Here in this system, wages are paid to the workers according to their output, as compared to time wage system. In this system, that is piece wage system, as the name itself suggests, here the workers will get the return or will be paid according to their output. The more the output they will produce, the more wages they will get. So it is purely based on the performance that they are giving. This wage system is directly related to the skills, production capacity, speed and precision of the workers. Here it is purely based on the skills of the workers, how much production he is doing, at what speed, and what is the precision of the workers. So based on this, that workers will be paid. This system is also known as payment by result system. The more output he will produce, the more he will get the payment. So this is all about piece wage system. Let us look at some merits of or the advantages. Workers' skill is taken into account. Yes, here based on the skills, based on the capacity, everything that is required, that is taken, everything that is required for the production, that is taken into account. No need for supervision and inspection. Efficient workers are given more incentives and rewards. Here based on the work, they will get rewards and incentives. And here the worker will be more motivated to do the work, because here they are getting for the efforts that they are putting on for doing the production. So he will get the payment based on this. easy to estimate the cost per unit, because here purely it is based on the production rate that they are producing. Then easy to calculate wages. More production and best result is the motto of the system, because in this system purely the wages is paid to the workers based on the production rate, based on their skills, based on their precision. So here the workers value is given prime importance. So this is the merits of this piece wage system. Let us look at some disadvantages of this system. Quality is not maintained. Workers intentionally ignore safety rules, inviting accidents. Then workers are paid different wages with a wide gulf among them, leading to less precision, lessening of their morals and industrial disputes. Because in this system it is purely the wages are paid purely on the basis of their output. There may be possibilities that some workers' output is less as compared to some other workers, so there will be a chances that different wages will be paid to the workers. So that is a disadvantage. Trade union oppose this system. There is always a union within the organization, so this system is opposed by them. Sense of job satisfaction is less among the workers. Yes, the worker who is more efficient will be paid higher, so there is less satisfaction among the workers. Administrative expenses are high. Then workers neglect their health in order to put their maximum efforts. They compromise with their health and they will put their more efforts for getting the more wages. So this is all about the disadvantages of piece-based wage system. Workers feel a sense of insecurity. Yes, there is an insecurity. I hope this presentation would have helped you to understand about wages and types of wage payments. Thank you.